Hello, this is Story Nexus coming to you today with the very best Marvel Comics storylines. All right, the very best storylines that came through on Marvel. I try to think of what exactly was the very best other than the comics. And maybe you could tell me one that was better. The only one I could possibly think of, that I would put in here into this list is maybe Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I felt like that was a representation of what Marvel should have kept with. This is how Marvel should have done their movies, kept them going within their storyline, and it's action. It's good writing, or not great, but good writing. Quality characters, and just keep going with them. They all have you could tell a story with the understanding of what that character is. Now, if you want to add in characters, that's fine. Do that. But keep the main characters together. Keep them going. To pull them out for what you've done is like, it's like, we don't care what you like. We don't care what you like. We don't care who you are. We don't care what it is that you guys enjoy about our stories or movies or anything. No, we don't give a shit, and too damn bad. You're going to like it because it's Marvel. But no, that's not going to happen. All right? You know what? Instead of the bullshit, let's get going into the comics here, okay? Or let's get back into the stories here. And I'm going to start off with some honorable mentions, some comics that I felt possibly could have taken Marvel, had they done one or two things different, okay? And what we're going to start with is Uncanny Avengers, okay? Which, if you were an Uncanny Avengers fan at any point, you kind of liked them because of where it seemed like they were going with everything, and how they were going, and what they were going to do. And then they kind of, at the very end, decided to pull the rug from underneath our feet and give us this ending storyline with Steve Rogers, who once led the terrorist group known as Hydra. Now, this is one of the most unpopular forms of Captain America, okay? Back in, I believe, 2000 somewhat, they had this character, which was Captain America, who was Cosmic Cube version of Captain America, and in this version, it's just so convoluted bullshit. Anyways, he was actually all the time going for Hydra, which is a what if story. Like, what a cool what if. You should have kept it there. But instead, we get this story. Now, the art's not bad. Let's just say that from beginning to end, art's not bad. It does very, very, much so feel computer animated, like computer drawn. Some of this like lighting and stuff is not that great, but we're talking the best of the best here, right? We're not going to give them a ride if they're up on this list here. This is the top storylines, and the top storyline is here. Basically, if we cut through all the bullshit, we have a team of characters that came together with Captain America, including Deadpool. Let me pull together all the characters so I can name them out without too ridiculousness. But anyways, this group of Captain America's group gets together, and he's going to fight for the rights, or try to fight for for the mutants to kind of get back on their feet. He's going to stand up for them, and they're all getting deported into camps, which, you could hear the storyline in your mind of he's going to stand up against the Nazis in a way. It's kind of what the storyline started off as. He's not going to let this go by. He had an idea. He trusted his friends more than he trusted the government, that's pretty good call, right? The government's saying this, the actual call is this. Now, in this comic, the very last one, Rogue takes a nuclear bomb, drives it up to where nobody else could get hurt from it, takes Deadpool, holds on to Deadpool, and while she's being disintegrated, takes off whatever Deadpool's powers and brings her back, right? So that's kind of that's a really cool little storyline. This art too, that's that scene right there. I'd love to have that somewhere, right? There's a cool ass poster. That's great art. I love that. That's cool. This is good. This is all good. This is the good part of it. This is why it's up in an honorable mention. Okay, all this. The murderous and imposter who posed as Captain. This is Ben Urich, who actually solved the mystery here. He figured everything out. Okay. The murderous imposter who posed as Captain Krakoa was unmasked. He tried to kill this story and this reporter. Orcas seem to have their own resurrection protocols, like the mutants, and they chose to bring back the dark reflection of Captain America. Now, if we're just talking without any, Marvel's we didn't just have the year we had for Marvel, maybe this isn't that bad of a storyline. Okay? Dr. Stasis, everything, it sounds okay. Now here's his team, right? Psylocke, Rogue, Penance or something like that. It's a stupid character. Deadpool, Quicksilver, and what the hell's her name? Romanowski, Black Widow. Okay? That's a pretty cool group. Yeah, you got to make sure there's more women, men. Okay, anyways, move on. So, America's fighting. They're fighting against each other because the evil Cap is who people are getting behind. Does this not happen to feel a little bit too close to home right now? The police and all this. I did another video explaining exactly all of this, so we're going to run through it fast and I'm going to move on. But this would have taken a higher position had this scenario here not came out the way it did. The ending absolutely destroyed that. Okay? Absolutely destroyed it. All right. So now we're going to have two more honorable mentions, and these honorable mentions are going to be, the first honorable mention is X-Men Hellfire Gala. Now, the Hellfire Gala has been this absolute garbage idea of, let's take these really tough and heroic characters and let's put them in these super flamboyant costumes. And everybody thinks that this is great, except for anybody that read the book and cares about them, right? So not only did nobody give a shit about these stupid Hellfire Galas, nobody was gonna buy this one at all. So what did Marvel do? They said, you know what? Let's put the most important storyline of the X-Men into this Hellfire Gala that nobody likes anyway. People liked it for the covers. For the covers, because the covers themselves were actually valuable at some points because they had these really good artists drawing these characters in unique costumes. Like it looks kind of cool sometimes. Sometimes. Well, you tell this grouping of people, these editors and all this stuff here, this grouping of people that decided that these books were so great. You tell them anything is okay, and they're going to run it into the ground and absolutely destroy it. Okay? This Hellfire Gala started off kind of like, well, cool, man. Normal bullshit. I was ready to check out. Like, turn this shit off. I'm done with it. And then, midway through, you're reading these storylines. They decide who's going to be. Everybody's kissing everybody's ass. They're all just kissing Miss Marvel's ass so hard. I don't get it. Please, someone tell me why. Miss Marvel is awful. She's a stupid design and a stupid character. Now, I do appreciate them giving a try to do something different. But everything that would make this character cool, you've taken out of her. Okay? Make her unique. Make her her own person. Make her her own battles in her own place. Not into the X-Men world, because it's stupid. Why they're doing it, I don't know. Anyways, and then we got the Gods storyline here. At the time, I had no clue what the hell it was and thought, okay. And then, yeah, we get, this is it. This is the stuff, right? Dude chick stuff. Why? So it's like, oh, goodness, freaking sakes. They come through with all this nonsense, all this wordplay, all this dumb shit. Then they pick the characters. They pick them. And it's cool. No, it's awful. It's so awful. Cannonball. Again, super flamboyant costumes. Talon. Oh, yeah. It just Sync. Prodigy. Frenzy. Oh, these are people I at this point, I almost put the comic down. And then exactly what I had hoped for. This whole entire time, I was like, God, I just please kill all of them. Boom! It happens! Oh my God, it happens! They kill them all! They all die! Oh my God. I was like, what? What? I couldn't believe it. So fucking awesome. Yes! Destroy them! Kill them all! I loved it. Sorry, getting a little carried away. But here, again, great storyline, great plot, went nowhere. 50 comics after this of meandering around, not really doing anything with this storyline. It's just like Marvel's whole intention is not to sell people a story and a great comic. It's to just get them with as many as they can. How many times can they trick us? Right? How many times can they trick us? This was a good one, though. I was in love with it. I liked it. It brought me right back in. I was all over this. And another one that did the same exact thing was, boom, Sins of Sinister. If you picked up Sins of Sinister, you thought to yourself, we're going somewhere. This is cool. This is cool. Right? Of course, I do not like the way Kieran Gillen does Mr. Sinister. Okay? It's so lame. Like, he's so flamboyant and fruity, and it's like, come on, man. I'm so tired of this, bro. Like, come on. Give me something cool, Give me something fun. Like, fuck, let me, see a good storyline. And this seemed like that's what we got out of this. Everybody's connected to freaking Mr. Sinister, right? Mr. Stasis, or whatever the hell. And then, so that was another one. Those two are the two storylines that I wanted to give a memorable mention, an honorable mention, because they're only one book out of most of everything that came out this year. but these two were actually really good. So if you pick up anything from the X-Men, if it's one of these two, you're going to like it. If it's anything else, you may enjoy it, but I would highly doubt it. Okay? Especially if you're watching this video. Let's move on. Okay? Let's move on. The next one I want to talk about that was one of the top storylines. I don't care if people thought whatever. This was a cool storyline. A fun, quick little we had Wolverine and Ghost Rider mixed together, you know, with this little boy that had these powers, and he connected. He made these crazy monsters that were coming, or he turned into this crazy monster, and it just was cool. The whole thing was cool. Check it out if you get a chance. Okay. Here, let me kind of go over really quick. They have it. A page of just kind of like what's going on up to this point. But blood, guts, cutting, ripping, tearing, Ghost Rider and Wolverine together, kind of like you figured they would. This is a year ago. A demon attached to a young orphan named Bram attacked the X-Men, setting Wolverine on his trail separately. Johnny Blaze sensed the demon's presence, but a misunderstanding cost them their chance to capture the demon. In the present day, following an Orcus coup that banished most of mankind from Earth, Bram's hellish parasite has resurfaced, hunting the remaining mutants. Wolverine and Ghost Rider picked up on the trail again, only to discover that the demon is now part of Weapons Plus new Hellfire program. Again, it's, I would say, not top, but one of the better ones. Okay, we got to say that it's got to be one of the better ones. The next two that I'm going to bring in are not. Again, this, I just wanted to kind of go through this real quick. The art is pretty good. The little events that happen are cool. And it's not going to change the world. It's nothing that actually makes you want to jump back into the X-Men. But it is fun. And he does kind of pick from the Wolverine ongoing. You know, the Wolverine ongoing right now has, you know, characters that are involved in this also. So, is it great? No. Is it good? It's okay. It's the top. It's the top Marvel. Okay. Top Marvel. This has to be one of the worst years for Marvel, because there's like, it is hard to find the top tops. Okay. Anyways, let's keep moving forward. No, it's not hard to find the top tops, but it's like very thin at the top. The next two that I'm going to bring up, I think need to be at the bottom of the top list here, because they had moments of, you know, really cool. They had moments of this is badass, and they had moments that this sucks and this is stupid and what the hell are they doing? And very inconsistent book, but if you're going to read an X-Men book, this is one that will not make you vomit. Okay? That's a good sign. It won't make you vomit. The X-Men Red books basically are Storm books, where she's taken over Mars, and what she did with Mars, how she kind of ran her casting of grouping of people. And then Genesis, towards the middle or towards the end, Genesis, who was the ruler before that. Genesis, in case you didn't know, is Apocalypse's wife. And it has some interesting characters. They all are a tad fruity, which is, man, this is for the year. 2023 is the year of the fruity character. Let's just say that. But anyways, this goes on, it goes forward. Not bad. If you're reading it, some people loved it. I remember some people telling me in the store there, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I started picking it up. And there is some issues that are pretty freaking badass. You know, these moments But then you get them out of character again, and they do the thing, and it's like everybody's a little fruity, a little kind of standoffish, super gay, super that. It's like, hi, dude, can't we just? That's not how the X-Men have ever been. They have never been. They're heroic. They fight for what's right. They do the good thing. So anyways, this is a book that if you pick it up, you're not going to vomit. So that's something. Another one is Immortal X-Men, which is exactly like X-Men Red as far as the quality, right? They both have their goods and their bads. Like there's some issues that you can pull off the rack with X-Men Red that you would just go, wow, this is badass. And there's a couple with Immortal X-Men. Wow, this is badass. In the premise, if you're telling yourself the premise of these, you're into it. It's cool. Sounds cool, right? So X-Men, Immortal X-Men is kind of like it follows Xavier and their group of whatever they call it, the grouping, like their court, all the people that they had involved in Krakoa, and it kind of follows them through all of the things that happen. It kind of crescendoed with Sins of Sinister, because you follow through all the storylines of Sinister. Now this is Sinister's wife. It seems like every single character that you can possibly think of had a female counterpart, and the female counterpart actually outshined the character. It's just how Marvel did everything this year. There's Apocalypse. He's badass. Nope, he's not. His wife's better. There's Mr. Sinister. Oh, yeah, Mr. Sinister. He's so bad. He's cool. Yeah, he's tough. Oh, his wife is a lot tougher. She has a lot cooler shit. Check her out. It's like, aye, guys, come on, man. Make this fun. But this is one. This is a storyline that if you're following it and you've gone through these, it's pretty cool. It's not great. It's cool. There's some issues that will blow your socks off. Some issues that will make you just want to burn it and not return. Okay. In this one, this character here again, she has the stupidest name ever. I'm not even going to say it because it's stupid. Sinister's ex-wife, let's say that. She is in the same place, and then they're just, there's something, this is not the best issue right here. Okay, let's just say that. Stuff happens, it's not bad. Mr. Sinister or Mr. Stasis or whatever the hell his name is right now, Dr. Stasis, is in Xavier's mind. They're the only two left on Krakoa. So since they're the only two left on Krakoa, and he only is able to stay alive if he's into Xavier's mind, it goes on and on. Pick it up. It's not a bad one. Check it out. Okay. Now we're going to start at the bottom and move forward. All right. The bottom of the top. Okay. Again, Gods. This book, for some reason, caught the most amount of slack I have ever seen from a Hickman book. Okay. I've never heard of more people wanting to hate this book just to hate it. Oh, this shit's stupid. Like, just don't want to check it out. Don't want to. And I get it. I guess I think people feel a little let down by Hickman and what he kind of did with the X-Men. I can see it. I understand it. But Hickman is a absolutely fantastic, comic book world builder. There's nobody better I can think of. I mean, of course, Stan Lee and all them, but like, wow, he's great at this. I understand him. 2 issues in, everybody's throwing the damn thing away. Give him some time, okay? He's rebuilding the Marvel universe. takes time. Don't check out yet. Keep checking it out. This book was a little more interesting. And the thing is, a lot of people are jumping to conclusions because of the year that we had. Take them for what they are, and they're not that bad. If you keep building up what you think it should be, you're going to be disappointed. But at ground level, just enjoying what we have, not what we want to get. Gods is a great story. We're following these different characters as they go through the top level universe of the Marvel universe. Like, that sounds pretty badass, right? All right. So next, I'm going to move on to Loki. Loki by Dan Waters, I believe. Peralta. Spicer. I don't know Peralta very well. Let me see what's this. Jermaine Peralta, I believe. Pretty good artist. It says Loki is king of the Jotunheim and the god of stories. But once upon a time, Loki was the trickster god, the god of mischief, evil, and lies. And once upon that time, Loki constructed a cursed ship called Nigler, using the fingernails of the dead. When a pair of frost giants recently tried and failed Grand Theft Nigafar, 3 fragments of the ship shattered across the realms. And he goes across trying to discover what's going on with them. They're like these real powerful kind of things. And this one, it's a storybook that tells the future, or it tells them an understanding of what can happen. And once you hear the story, you lose it. It's cool ideas. I actually kind of dug this book. And Loki could be done wrong so quickly. And they had some of the stuff, they did the thing with the thing. We all know what I'm talking about, but it still was good. And I enjoyed it. If you check this out, you're going to like it. Loki. Absolutely something to check out. Okay. Something that you will enjoy from Marvel. This may absolutely end up way higher on the list. We only have one issue in, pretty much, and that's Ultimate Invasion. All right, Ultimate Invasion by Hickman, and it's another Hickman book. And we all know how Hickman books take some time. They usually wow you, though. Like, they wow you in the beginning, which this one, it caught my attention because I was not 100% aware of some of these characters. And I thought it was pretty cool. So if you have a chance to check out Ultimate Invasion, and let me see, what was the other one? Pull it up for you guys. Kind of giving it away if you're checking it up. So don't look up top. Just keep looking at it. Sorry. Anyways, Ultimate Invasion, and looks like I don't have it up here. But there's the other one that comes along with the Ultimate Invasion. But check that one out too. It's kind of within the same realm, Both are leading up to the same thing. The Ultimate Universe coming back and what they're going to do with it. Okay. Now, the next 2 books that I'm going to go over probably could go higher, like way high on the list, but they're really good because of their art. And they are on this because of how damn good their art is. Okay? And that is Clobber in Time by Steve Skroce. Okay? Big-hearted, blue-eyed Benjamin Grimm's life was forever changed after an experiment. It pretty much goes through the same tunes. It's just a fun book, really. It's nothing to take 100% serious. It's not going to change the universe that they're in right now, but the art is damn good. Like, wow good, you know? Um, and if you don't enjoy the story, I guarantee you'll like the art. I would think you would, you know, like most people that like any kind of comic book, when they get their eye on this, the detail that's put into these books or into the drawing, especially in this book, it's amazing. It's amazing. Look at the backgrounds. Look at, I mean, you know, some of it is always computer pushed, you know, and I know that that's the world we live in. But you can tell also the detail that's put into a lot of this. Okay, which I appreciate. I appreciate, and if you check it out, you're gonna like it based on the art. The story is not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. Um, it's a lot going on with it, and me telling you right away is going to ruin it. But fun. Let's just say that. Another one that I would say 100% the art is outstanding was Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Unbelievable art. Maybe it was just more fun than it was anything. This book, if we're talking story-wise, Clobbering Time is better than this book. Art-wise, they're close. You know, they're both about pretty good. Different styles, longer strokes on the brush here, very intricate. It's kind of the same kind of details, but it's a whole different. The layouts are way different. It's very horror centric, which is fun. It seems like a lot of people do horror good when they do comics, and this is one of them. You know, but they all have the thing. They do the thing. You know, they got the female spider character that is stronger than anything Peter has ever seen before, and he could kill him right now if he wanted to. And she destroys the demon. It's like, come on, man. You know, just make it fun. Quit with the same beats. Let's just make it fun. But I don't know. I have a feeling that people wanting to create a book in years 2021 and 2022, we're told if you want your book to make it to the shelves, they must have this character, that kind of a character. It needs to be diverse to a certain degree. You need to have this. That would make so much more sense, because I can't see why you would put these kinds of characters in this. It's not needed. It's not fun. It's kind of annoying, but it's cool. This is a cool book. This is not one of those books where you feel overwhelmed by it or feel like they take the character and pull him out of who he really is. It's more just like badass. And look at this art. Like I said, this is a book. You don't even need to read the damn story. Just look at this art. This art tells a better story than what you're going to read in dialogue boxes. That's 100% the reality. So check them out. All of them are good. All of them have that wonderful art. Another one, kind of within the same realm, just fun, not too anything, is Predator and Wolverine. This is a fun ass book. This is a fun book. And if you are sitting here like upset with anything about this book, number one, you probably need to like pull your thong out of your ass crack and relax a little bit, buddy. It ain't that serious, okay? I know that you feel like the Marvel universe is fucked right now, and anything that comes out has to be fine-tooth combed, looked at, but it's not, and you don't need to. And this is not made that way. This is made for fun. This is made to enjoy. This is made to like, that's cool. Like, fuck, you melted his fucking face. Like, how don't you like that? Like, that's just cool, you know? Like, it's fun. You got to enjoy it. And if you're taking, you know, oh, well, they did this to that and this character, like his background is so, it's not, this never happened. Dude, again, man, pull your thong out of your ass and relax, okay? This is just fun. Enjoyment. Smile. Enjoy it, all right? I don't know who you think you are, man. Just relax. This is fun. Just full. Look at this. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. You know? So I thought that was cool. And if you didn't, I'm sorry. Life must be really rough for you. Now I think the best way to talk about the next couple of books is to kind of lump them all together. So if we're talking like the top 5 books here, right? Let's put these together, all together, okay? Because they all were kind of the same. DeMatteis is an absolute genius of a writer. I love his writing. I've read so many of his books. They're outstanding, okay? This may not be his best book, all right, when it comes to his books, but it's cool, and it's enjoyable, and it's fun, and it's Magneto, and it's kind of like, I could see that, right? Like back in those days, I do feel like I don't want to, but they do the thing, right? They do the thing, and I think we're too sensitive right now with everything that I know. Ira's rage, like she's super tough, and she kind of put Magneto in his place here and there. And then Magneto comes through, whoops that ass, like he should have done in the beginning, right? And so, I mean, it's rewarding at the end. You like it. You see what he does. You feel it. You get it. It hits you in the feel spots. And, at the end, we get what we wanted to get out of it. Okay. Warlock Rebirth is same kind of scenario. I believe this might be part 2. Same scenario. Good book by the Mars, or by the Rons. Mars and Lim. Mars and Lim, my bad. Oh, I couldn't say that. And they bring in a female. It's like the same thing. They bring in a female version of the male character. Like, I swear they were told to do that. Like, hey, if you want to write a book for us, because Magneto, like the same thing. Like, I just dawned on me too. Like, it really did just dawn on me. Like, this is the female version of Magneto in a way, but it's not. It's also ethnically from another country. And then you get the female version of Warlock. And she sacrifices herself at the end. Pretty cool book. Enjoyable. I liked it. Okay? It's way better than 90% of what came out. Let's just say that. Okay? Another one. Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. Same exact thing. Fun. I liked it. I liked it a lot, okay? Let me see here if this kind of does it. I don't think it did. This is the one that may put it on his head where they didn't have to create a female character. I mean, there's female characters in this one. They do a thing, but it's not really so dramatic. More of his wife and this other character. So I'm going to say this one kind of maybe debunks that. But there is female character. That's no big deal. It doesn't really matter though. It's the same old thing. Hit you in the feels. It's a great Ghost Rider story. A Danny Ketch from back in those days. You'll like it. If you liked it back then, you'll like it. Okay? It's cool. It was fun. And this is what they need to be. This is what all Marvel books should be. Fun, enjoyable. Like, look what's going on. Like, the events mean something because they were like, oh, they got through it, like, oh, that was tough. And it was hard for them. And they battled and they made it, That's what they should be. The Warlock, Magneto, all those ones together because they were great. And here's another one. Same kind of thing. Guggenheim, I'm not very familiar with him. I had to look up some stuff, see what he did. I get a little touchy with this because I really like the storyline. Days of Future Past was such a great book, fun and enjoyable. So when this came out, I was immediately shut off at the very beginning because of a lot of the crap that they did. But then the more I kind of relaxed with it, the more it was fun. And, it explains a lot. And he actually did his homework with a lot of this stuff because it does touch a lot of the same um, points that went on in um, the original, you know, just fun, just good old stupid fun. Uh, and this is what I wish, why they don't take these writers here that wrote these in continuity a long time ago and make them continuity now. Man, please tell me why, because it doesn't make any damn sense. It just makes zero sense of why these characters, like these people are writing books now. Like, oh my gosh, bro, like these are great writers. Why aren't they on top of something? So getting from those, there's another one, but I'm going to leave that for last. Let's get into the very top creme de la creme, Thor. I am still weary on this one, and it's why it's not up on the very, very, very top. One, because there's a couple books that I felt like maybe are better, but also like it does a flip here and there, and I'm not sure where they're going with this, and it could go in a really kind of, I don't know. I'm just weary with things. So far, it's been great, and I've enjoyed it. Every issue has been fun. The art's great. The writing's been good. Again, it's Ewing. Ewing does have a tendency to talk too damn much. Like, let the art breathe, my friend. At times. Not all the time, but at times he does that. But this is a great book. Immortal Thor took off where, Donny Cates had a really cool, enjoyable run going. I loved it. It brought me into comics. Like, I cannot tell you how many of his books, like, I jumped on them. I was on it. I loved it. It was a great book. And then it flipped when he went off the rails. The whole book went off the rails. Everything changed in it. And it just was, after that, it sucked. It sucked. It wasn't good. They went nowhere with it. And, whatever. When they came out with the number one, I was in fear that they had said the person that I forgot what their name is, kind of a weird name, and whatever their name was, hey, you're going to keep writing the book. We're going to start over at 1, da, da, da. When Ewing came in here and number one came out and I read it, I was in awe. It really touches on a lot of the mythology. And that is fun, man. That's a new take of something that could be really cool. Like I always wondered about that too when I was reading, Thor when I was a kid, like, well, what about all the other stuff that goes on, like what's up with all these different events that happen in there? And he seems like they're touching on this. So we'll see. I'm giving it my seal of approval. If you grab a Thor, you're going to love it. Immortal Thor is so damn good, right? Another book that I want to touch on because it ended this year, is a Daredevil by Zdarsky. His Batman started off so good and went nowhere absolutely fast. This Thor run, or this Daredevil run is heavily based on his relationship to other people as opposed to events happening, more or less. He went to jail, did all this stuff. It's all these different things that happen from A to B. And the art, like Marco Cicchetto, I salute you, my friend. Your art is in like another level. It's another level. The book is great. If there was no words, it would be great. That's how good his art is. Like, look at these. Like, just not going to get that out of the books now. You just don't get those out of like it's just the beauty of things. You just feel it. You feel the nature. You feel the characters' movements and what they're doing and like these events that happen. And man, it's just cool. Great ending. Two characters, again, they did the female version, and they pushed it a lot. So I understand it. This is a great run. Do not pick up the new run. You won't like it. But if you pick up, well, I can't say you won't like it. It's not as good as this, and it's not going to make it there. It's not going to be close. Now I want to get into, let me see what we got left. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say the top, tippity top 5. The top 5 Marvel books that came out in 2023. Okay. And we're going to start it off with saying goodbye. Now, I can't put this number 1 because it started 2 years ago. But Strange Academy is the kind of book that everybody would enjoy. Everybody would enjoy this. It is fun. It has major events. It has major characters. It spawns on your imagination to what could have been possible with, when you were young and you watched your favorite character and you seen him starting to get older and you thought to yourself, when they have a child, well, let's talk magic-based, most magic-based characters, right? When they have a child, what are they going to be like? And this is a book that shows you what they're like. The art's great too. It's fun. It's quirky. It'll make you laugh. The events that happen are really cool. They're really cool. I don't want to give too much away. Dormammu's son is a big character in there. If you know Dormammu, whatever the hell his name is. He's a very strong, evil character from another dimension. He kind of goes tit for tat with Doctor Strange, and he's badass. Like he's the top of the top. His son is in this academy, and his son is a good guy. Like, oh shit, right? It's cool. It's cool. It's fun. And I salute this book. It would be number 1 if it came out this year. But only the finals came out this year. So I give it, where it needs to be. On my top 5, it's number 5. Number 4, I will give you it's tough because these 2 books I could put you know what? Flip of a coin. Joe Fixit. You know what? I think Joe Fixit was a tad bit better than Venom. Lethal Protector. Tad bit better. But, this is Venom Part 2 though, too. So it didn't just came out here. But it was so cool. The events that happened in this book were so damn cool. Like, why don't we have him writing a ongoing at Marvel? And again, I swear, what's one of the main characters? I swear they said, hey, if you're going to make these books, you have to put a diverse character a female. You know, whatever. This was a great book. The art will blow your freaking brains out, man. Like, it's so effing good. Bring you back to the 90s. Such a great comic. Absolutely, absolutely great book. You pick this up and you don't love it, you don't have a pulse. So this gets my stamp, my seal, my everything of approval. I absolutely loved this book. Check it out. Check it out. Now, we'll get back to the book that I was just about to show you. And that's Joe Fixit. Joe Fixit is a fun, enjoyable book. The only reason that it's a tad above Venom is the story's a little better. It's just a little better in my eyes. My thought for my likes. For my likes, this is a better story. So, anyways, you get Spider-Man teaming up with Joe Fixit. Joe Fixit's in the casinos doing his thing as a mob boss. Spider-Man comes in there and you know, he finds out that Joe Fixit's being, you know, like his mind's being warped by Kingpin, right? And so, because his mind's being warped by Kingpin, he attacks Spider-Man. Spider-Man figures it out and reacts and gets him. I love that, right? Like, it's just fun. This is Peter David. This is Peter David. Like this is the moments, you know, he knows these characters so well that he can make these little quick things that are hilarious and funny. And we all know it's funny, you know. Gosh, man, why isn't he writing ongoing? You tell me, please. Because he would do he'd do great. He would do great. But anyways, let's move on. So, Spider-Man frees Joe Fixit, and upon freeing Joe Fixit, they team up, and you know, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, goes over there, recruits his own team to come get it. It's just shenanigans. Superhero shenanigans, and I loved it. And you will too. The art's great. The books are great. The characters are as they should be. Characters as they should be. Wonderful book. Thank you, Peter David. You are absolutely a legend. So that's number 3. Wait, see. 5, 4, 3. This is a toss-up. All right. This is a toss-up. These 2 books absolutely blew my mind. And I'm going to put number 1. You know what? Let's see. Number 2, The Incredible Hulk. There is no book that Marvel has as an ongoing that really is even close to this book. So you're saying, Dave, DJ, why the hell is it not number 1 then? Well, I'll tell you why. Okay. But let me finish. The art is phenomenal. The story's phenomenal. They're hitting on this horror aspect that I feel like was completely missing with Donny Cates' run, but it wasn't. I think Donny Cates was in a good space. He would have finished that story and made it great, but he wasn't. So now we got what we got. So we go through an absolute horror-based comic that is the Hulk. 2 reasons. There's only 7 issues out. So give or take, that could be the reason. Another one is like this girl, and what they're gonna do with this girl, I'm not sure. You know, like they're hitting on the points, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. Are they gonna do her? Is she gonna turn into like him and take away his powers or some stupid thing? I don't know. But so far, they go over everything that they've hit on. It's been phenomenal. It's just a great, great book. I love it. The artist sells this book. Absolutely sells this book. The writing keeps me coming back. If that makes any sense. The writing keeps me coming back because it's a good story. It's a good fighting. Everything that's going on. I like it. And so yes, it could be number one, and it should be, maybe. I just think that this book got zero love, zero credit, and it needs to be, flaunted a little bit. Okay? So here it is. Number one. Ba-dum-dum. Miracle Man. We're talking Neil Gaiman. And yes, there's only 6 issues. I see that, right? Yeah, there's only 6 issues. You're right. But it's 6, like, wonderfully crafted issues. The art is phenomenal. The writing is like, look at this. Like, why people are not talking about this book, I just don't understand. Is it maybe you don't know the characters? Or what is it? Because it doesn't make any sense. It did have some gay stuff in it, I get it, but it was all relevant. It wasn't placed in there in a way that made you feel like that's not how these characters would behave. It doesn't feel like that. It feels very relevant. And this is one of these stories that once you're done reading it, you'll always remember it. You have certain things in your mind that you come back to and you go to and you figure out. This is Dickie Dauntless. This is his story, pretty much. How he got to where he is. He was reincarnated in the first issue of some type. Not reincarnated. He was brought back to life. And he's struggling with that understanding. And just Neil Gaiman's knowledge of emotions and how he plays on them is just insane. The one thing I will say, yes. They take forever to come out. That is the number one issue. Okay. They take forever to come out and people lose that traction that it had, right? It's insanely good. It's an insanely good book. Telling you, this is something that if you guys pick it up and check it out, I promise you will not be disappointed unless you don't like action, you don't like, comics that are like have great storylines, then, maybe you wouldn't like it. Another book that I had up here that I that I don't have right now and I forgot to put up here, honestly. I just want to put it out there because even though I don't have a show you, I think it was absolutely phenomenal. And that was Doctor Strange, Fall and Sunrise. Doctor Strange, Fall and Sunrise. That is one of the, I put it right in the middle. Above X-Men Red, and below the top 5. So anyways, throw that out there. I put that probably right next in the grouping of Deadly Spider-Man. Okay. There's another one too, the Spider-Man. It's kind of like a play on. It's a play on Kraven Last Hunt. I have heard that's good. I haven't read it. I apologize. I should have. But anyways, this is my number one. Tell me what you think. So there we are. Now we're back at the beginning. And that you see it back there, great book. Venom was phenomenal. Loved it from beginning to end. Also, Wolverine, Predator versus Wolverine was a great book. Everything that I mentioned, on a typical year, I don't know if they make the top 10. I think every book should have been like Incredible Hulk. Like, I feel like every book that Marvel makes should be at that quality. Like, that's where it should start, not that's the top. Tell me what your opinions are. What do you think? Is there any books or storylines from Marvel? You know what? Let's even throw in Disney. You could throw in Disney and tell me one of their storylines that were better than anything that I just mentioned. And always look for the story and tell me all about it so I can, have you on here and tell me your story or whatever it is. This is what I enjoyed. Tell me what you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching my video. Subscribe, do all that stuff, because if I can get more people on here to enjoy the good books, the more we might be able to make a little bit more of a word out there where people want to follow the good books. And the more good books that are mentioned, the more good books that keep being bought, the more they figure, hey, maybe we should make more of these. This is DJ with Story Nexus. You all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for coming in and checking me out. I appreciate y'all.